Welcome back, viewers, to the Stellar Twin Voyagers program. Today, I, Nova A239, will once again guide you through the adventure of two siblings exploring their unforgettable childhood dreams. Let's explore the eternity of endless times and nurture our dreams among the sea of stars. Get ready to be enchanted by the wonders of the universe and stories filled with hope that will inspire us all. Alright, without further ado, let me begin today's story. After lunch, the two young shepherds returned to help their father and grandfather in the fields. Aster, Cosmo, the work in the fields is almost done. Go home early and take these sacks of corn with you. Ask mother to store them. Tomorrow, father will take them to the town to sell, and this smaller sack here is for our own consumption. Ask mother to prepare it for our dinner tonight, said father. All right, father, replied the two young boys eagerly as they quickly lifted the sacks of corn. Upon arriving home, they immediately handed the sacks over to mother. Mom, Dad said these are to be stored for sale in town tomorrow, while the corn in this smaller sack is for us to consume, Cosmo informed while his older brother placed the sacks in the kitchen corner. Ah, thank you, my sweet boys. Just leave them there. Now, let's grind the corn kernels that we dried last year. I've checked them earlier, they're not moldy and the drying is good, still suitable for processing and consumption, said mother. Are we going to make cornmeal out of this, Mom? Asked Aster, looking up at his mother's face. Exactly. Isn't autumn approaching soon? During the autumn festival, there will be many events, and we can sell traditional cakes to earn a bit of money. Perhaps I'll make polenta cake, torta di maize, migliaccio, farbreaden, or maybe even cornbread. Surely during the celebration, there will be many tourists and travelers from various countries, so these cakes might sell well. Ah, instead of thinking about which cake to make, let's prepare the cornmeal first. I'll grind it twice to make it really fine. You both help collect the flour that comes out into that big bowl, mother instructed her sons. All right, Mom, Aster and Cosmo replied enthusiastically. They spent the afternoon helping their mother in the kitchen to make cornmeal. Finally they done with their tasks. What can we help with again, Mom? Asked Cosmo. I don't think there's anything else, said mother, smiling at her sons. All right, Mom, said Aster and Cosmo. Ah, I forgot. Could you please go to our chicken coop and collect the eggs? I haven't checked the co-op today because I've been busy. Here, the co-op key in the basket for the eggs. Oh, and here's the chicken feed. Check if they've eaten all the feed. If they have, add some more. Walk slowly, or you might fall, and don't forget to lock the co-op after you collect the eggs. Otherwise, our chickens might escape, get eaten, or be stolen. Understand? Asked mother. Understood, Mom, said the two little shepherds as they walked towards the chicken coop. Slowly, Aster took the key and opened the co-op door. Purr, cluck, Cosmo greeted their chickens. We brought your food, sorry for being late today. Enjoy it, ladies, said Aster as he poured the chicken feed and refilled their water. Cosmo, help me gather the eggs, be careful not to break them, said Aster. All right, brother, Cosmo eagerly said as he started collecting the eggs and putting them into the basket they brought. Shortly after, Cosmo had collected all the eggs. Brother, I'm done, said Cosmo. Good, I'm done here too. Let's close the coop and take these eggs to mother, said Aster. They quickly closed the co-op door and walked back home. Mom, we're back. Here are the eggs. We'll place them here, said Aster and Cosmo as they walked into the house. Also, evening had arrived, the sun is now low at west horizon. Aster and Cosmo's aunt asked for permission from their mother to take their sheep to graze in the pasture. With skill, the two young shepherds opened the sheep pen, led their fat sheep out to graze, and after ensuring that all the sheep had eaten enough, they promptly guided them back to their pen. Mother, we're home, said Aster and Cosmo. Well done, my sons. Come, clean yourselves up in the backyard, mother said gently. The two young shepherds quickly washed their hands, feet, and faces in the backyard, then dashed back into the kitchen. We're home, suddenly father and grandfather's voices were heard at the front door. Wow, father, you're home early today. Is all the work in the fields finished? Mother asked as she handed them towels. Yes, almost done. I asked to come home early because I want to show something special to my grandsons tonight, father said, wiping his sweat. Aster and Cosmo became excited and ran towards their grandfather. Special. Grandpa, what are you going to show us tonight? Tell us, Grandpa. Ha ha ha, my grandsons are already excited before nightfall. Yes, indeed, I'll take you to see the Perseid meteor shower tonight. Tonight is one of the peaks of the Perseid meteor shower. Hasn't it been a while since we watched a meteor shower? Grandfather said. Wow, that's right. It's already August. We forgot, Aster said, looking at his brother enthusiastically. But, the meteor shower is at midnight. So, you need to rest early tonight. Later when it's midnight, Grandpa will wake you up and we'll go to the meadow together. Your father will accompany us tonight, Grandfather said. Really, father? Wow, we rarely spend nights together with you. Of course, Grandpa, we'll go to bed right after dinner, Aster and Cosmo said. Ah, it seems you prefer father over mother for spending your night, mother teased. Of course not, Mom. Let's all observe the meteor shower together tonight, Aster said, gently pulling his mother's dress. Ah no, I'm just kidding. I'll stay home and watch the house. Besides, I can't stand the cold. Make sure to wear warmer clothes tonight. Even though it's summer, as we're approaching fall, the night temperature can be quite cold. You might catch a cold, mother advised. Yes, Mom, said the adorable sons. By the way, I've already prepared the ingredients for tonight's dinner. Father, honey, you two rest first. I'll start cooking dinner soon. I'll have Aster and Cosmo call you when it's ready, mother said. Father and grandfather immediately entered their room to rest for a while. Not long after, mother finished cooking dinner and asked Aster and Cosmo to call their father and grandfather. The happy family had dinner with warmth and laughter, and mother attentively served each member of the family, fetching dishes for grandfather and her husband, as well as for their two sons. They all ate heartily, and before they knew it, dinner was over. Ah, I'm starting to feel a little sleepy, father said, yawning. Aster and Cosmo helped clean up the dining table and put the dishes in the sink. Thank you, my sons. Leave the rest to me. Go brush your teeth now and get some rest, so you won't feel sleepy later when Grandpa takes you to see the meteor shower, Mother said with a smile, wiping the table. Okay, Mom, the two boys said as they ran to the backyard to brush their teeth and then hurried to their room to rest. Wow, I'm really excited, bro. We're going to see another amazing meteor shower this year, Cosmo said. You're right, Cosmo. I've been looking forward to it too. Let's go to sleep early so we won't feel sleepy later, Aster said, turning off the bedroom light. Good night, Cosmo. Good night, big brother, Cosmo replied to Aster. The two of them fell asleep soundly. Ha ha ha, Grandpa's grandsons are sleeping soundly. You must be very tired after a day of activities. Come on, Aster, Cosmo, let's wake up. It's almost midnight, Grandpa said, shaking Aster and Cosmo. Aster slowly opened his eyes. Good evening, Grandpa, Aster said, yawning. Cosmo was still sleepy and slowly got up from his bed. Good evening, Grandpa. Has the meteor shower started? Grandpa smiled at his two grandsons and said, yes, of course. Let's change into these clothes. Take this blanket too. The night in the meadow can be very cold. Get ready quickly. Grandpa and Father will wait outside. Then Grandpa walked away from Aster and Cosmo's room. Still half asleep, they changed their clothes, washed their faces in the backyard, dried them, and then walked to meet Father and Grandpa who were already standing in front of the house. Good evening, Father, the two boys said. Good evening, my sons. Let's walk to the meadow now. Watch your steps, even though we have a flashlight, the roads are dark at night and you surely don't want to stumble and fall, Father said. Okay, Father, Aster and Cosmo said. As they walked, the two young shepherds held hands and gazed at the sky. Look, bro, there's a shooting star. Ah, there's another one. Cosmo exclaimed joyfully. Look at that, Cosmo, this time there are 3 falling almost together. Beautiful, Aster said. Ha ha ha, Father's enthusiastic and adorable sons, Father said. Didn't you used to be like that too, son? Grandpa asked Father. Father looked at the sky and smiled. Yes, Grandpa, you're right. During meteor shower seasons, Father always took me to watch them. I even fell asleep while herding sheep. Grandpa nodded. Well, Cosmo suddenly looked disappointed and sighed. What's wrong, my grandson? Grandpa asked, noticing his youngest grandson's expression. I couldn't find the Big Dipper, Grandpa, the Ursa Major constellation. I wanted to see its 7 beautiful stars too, Cosmo revealed. Ah, that's what's on Grandpa's mind. It's true, Grandpa also couldn't see it. But indeed that's what you should expect, Grandpa said. Cosmo was surprised to hear this and asked, why, Grandpa? Aster gently pinched Cosmo's cheek and said, Ursa Major isn't circumpolar, didn't I tell you before? The stars in Ursa Major won't be visible in autumn and winter due to our latitude position. Right, Grandpa, Father. Father and Grandpa nodded, and this time Father explained, exactly, Aster. A star or constellation is called circumpolar if it never sets below the horizon, thus visible in the night sky throughout the year from a specific location on Earth. Whether a star or constellation is circumpolar depends on its position relative to the celestial pole and the observer's latitude on Earth. In high latitudes near the poles, stars near the celestial poles both north and south are always above the horizon. This is because the Earth's axis of rotation causes stars around the celestial pole to move in small circles around it without ever setting. For example, at the North Pole, all stars around Polaris are visible year-round because they move in small circles around the North Celestial Pole. Meanwhile, in low latitudes near the equator, there are very few or no circumpolar stars because the horizon cuts through more of the circle of stars in the sky. Near the equator, almost no stars are circumpolar because they appear to rise and set in the sky. Regarding the Ursa Major constellation, at latitudes around 45 degrees north or higher, Ursa Major is circumpolar and visible throughout the year. However, at lower latitudes like ours, around 39 degrees north, Ursa Major will set below the horizon at certain times, and the appearance of star rotation in the night sky varies depending on the observer's latitude. Near the North Pole and its surroundings, stars appear to move in horizontal circles around Polaris. In mid-latitudes, stars appear to move in tilted circles, with some stars setting and rising again. Meanwhile, at the equator, stars appear to move in vertical paths, many rising in the east and setting in the west. Do you understand now, or did I explain it too quickly? Father chuckled. We understand, Father. It's like that, yes. I was hoping to see it too, Cosmo said. Well, maybe the constellation has just set in the northwest. We could still see it early in the night shortly after sunset. But forget that, we still have many constellations like the summer triangle shining brightly in the sky, and of course, let's not forget why we came here tonight to see the Perseids. Luckily, we've arrived. Come, help Father spread out the blanket, Father said, laying out the blanket with the help of his two sons. Then, the 4 of them lay down on the blanket. Ah, this brings back memories, remembering when I was a child watching the night sky with Father, Father said, looking at Grandpa. Yes, thinking about it, that's true. You grew up so fast, we rarely sleep under the night sky like this anymore, Grandpa also reminisced about the past. Alright, other than that, do my grandsons have any questions after watching the night sky tonight? Grandpa asked. Aster eagerly said, yes, Grandpa. I have a question, Grandpa. Grandpa smiled and asked, what question is that? Go ahead and tell me. Well, Grandpa, the meteors we see are often called shooting stars. Are they really stars, Grandpa? Asked Aster. A good question. Grandpa will begin explaining it now. A shooting star is certainly not a star, but rather a meteor. Meteors originate from meteoroids, and they become meteorites when they reach the Earth's surface. Meteoroids are small objects within the solar system ranging in size from dust to several meters. For instance, debris from Halley's Comet that detaches as the comet crosses the solar system, or fragments of asteroids from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. When a meteoroid enters Earth's atmosphere and burns brightly due to friction with the air, it's called a meteor. This light is produced by the vaporization and ionization of meteoroid particles, creating what we commonly call a shooting star. For example, the Perseid meteor shower seen every August when Earth passes through the dust trail of Swift-Tuttle Comet. Meanwhile, a meteorite is a part of a meteoroid that survives passing through Earth's atmosphere and falls to Earth's surface. For example, the largest Hoba meteorite found in Namibia are the Canyon Diablo meteorite that formed Meteor Crater in Arizona, USA. That's about meteors, meteoroids, and meteorites, my grandchildren. Any more questions? Said Grandpa. What about asteroids and comets, Grandpa? Asked Cosmo. Grandpa smiled and began explaining. Ah, you're right. Grandpa used these terms but didn't explain them earlier. So, an asteroid is a solid object orbiting the Sun, usually found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter in the asteroid belt. For example, famous asteroids like Ceres, Vesta, and Eros are part of the asteroid belt in the solar system. Meanwhile, a comet is an object in space composed of ice, dust, and gas, typically originating from the Kuiper belt or Oort cloud beyond the solar system. We know some famous comets like Halley's Comet, Hale-Bopp, and Hyakutake, observed historically and renowned for their long tails and bright appearances in the sky. Grandpa will explain about the asteroid belt, Kuiper belt, Oort cloud another day. Are there any more questions regarding meteor showers? Not yet, Grandpa, said Cosmo, observing the night sky filled with shimmering streaks created by the meteor shower. Suddenly, Aster exclaimed excitedly, oh right, I just thought to ask about that. Grandpa, why do meteor showers always seem to originate from the same point? The shooting stars never appear to be shot from other areas of the sky. Grandpa then rose, clapping his hands. Excellent, excellent, that's what's expected from a scientific way of thinking. A question arising from interesting observation. The point or central area you mentioned is called the radiant in astronomy. The radiant is a fictitious point in the sky where all meteors in a meteor shower appear to originate. For example, the Geminid radiant is near the Gemini constellation. This is due to the observer's perspective on Earth and the parallel motion of meteoroids as they enter Earth's atmosphere. When meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere, they move in parallel paths. However, due to the vast distance and the observer's perspective on Earth, these parallel paths appear to converge at one point in the sky, called the radiant. This is similar to how parallel railroad tracks appear to meet on the horizon. The meteoroids that cause meteor showers typically come from the debris and particles released by comets or asteroids passing through Earth's orbit. Because all these particles move in parallel paths as they enter Earth's atmosphere, they appear to come from the same point in the sky. And meteor showers are named after the constellation or nearest bright star to their radiant. For example, the one we're observing now, the Perseids, their radiant is located in the constellation Perseus. It originates from debris from the Swift-Tuttle comet. Or another example, the Geminids, their radiant is located in the Gemini constellation. It originates from debris from the asteroid 3200 Phaethon. This can be seen in mid-December. Or the Quadrantids, whose radiant is located in the Boötes constellation, formerly Quadrans Muralis. It originates from debris from the asteroid 2003 EH1. We can observe it in early January. Orionids, located in the Orion constellation, from debris from Halley's Comet, can be observed in late October. And there are certainly many more. Does that sufficiently answer your question, Aster? Aster nodded and said, yes, Grandpa. Turns out there are many meteor showers waiting for us throughout the year, right, Grandpa? Thank you for explaining, Grandpa. It's good if it does. Grandpa is thankful that tonight the moon happens to be in the early quarter phase, so we can observe the meteor shower trails quite well with minimal light pollution from the bright moon, Grandpa said. Right, Grandpa. The meteor shower trails tonight are very beautiful and quite dense. Sometimes there are meteor showers that are a bit sparse, said Aster. Exactly, Father replied, there are many factors that influence it. Meteor showers occur when Earth passes through streams of dust and debris left by comets or asteroids. The intensity of each meteor shower varies from just a few per hour to tens or even hundreds of meteors per hour, influenced by several factors. First, the density of dust stream. Intense meteor showers usually occur when Earth passes through a very dense stream of dust left by a comet. This stream consists of many small particles that can enter Earth's atmosphere and burn up, creating meteors. Conversely, if the dust stream is less frequent or less dense, the number of visible meteors will be fewer. Second, Earth's relative position in the dust stream. The highest intensity of meteor showers usually occurs when Earth passes through the densest part of the dust stream, known as the peak period. During this peak period, we can see dozens to hundreds of meteors per hour. Outside the peak period, Earth may pass through a less dense part of the dust stream, resulting in lower visible meteor intensity, perhaps only a few meteors per hour. Third, comets orbit. Many meteor showers are associated with periodic comets orbiting the Sun. When comets approach the Sun, they release more dust and debris, renewing the dust stream that Earth passes through. For example, the Perseid meteor shower originates from the Swift-Tuttle comet. In addition, comet activity varies from one perihelion closest approach to the Sun to the next perihelion. If a comet has recently been active and released a lot of material, the dust stream left behind will be denser, increasing the intensity of the meteor shower. Also, comet dust is not always evenly distributed. Some parts of the stream can be denser than others, creating variations in meteor shower intensity from year to year. Father gave an example. The Perseids, which we see now, and the Geminids in December are examples of intense meteor showers. The peak intensity of Perseids can reach 50 to 100 meteors per hour at its peak. Perseids are known for the many visible meteors and often produce bright meteors. Also, the Geminids can reach up to 120 meteors per hour at its peak. Geminids are known for their large number of meteors, bright light, and varied colors. Meanwhile, less intense meteor showers like the Lyrids in April or Draconids in October. The peak intensity of Lyrids reaches only about 10 to 20 meteors per hour at its peak. Although usually less intense than Perseids or Geminids, Lyrids sometimes produce bright meteor outbursts. Also, Draconids usually only a few meteors per hour, 5-10 meteors per hour at its peak, but can produce very intense meteor storms on rare occasions. Draconids tend not to be as active unless their parent comet recently passed perihelion. Now do you understand better? Yes, Father. Thank you for your explanation, Father. Now I'm really excited to learn more about the sky, outer space, and its beauty. Aster said, admiring the shooting stars. Me too, said Cosmo. It's good if it's like that. Let's truly enjoy tonight by admiring this beautiful star-studded meteor shower night, said Father. And lastly, about the thing that I promised to tell you tonight, said Grandpa. Cloud, though maybe it seems not as interesting as night sky, they are of many importance. They tell us many things. In spring and summer, there will be many cumulus and cumulonimbus clouds. The appearance of cumulus, usually on a clear and warm day, indicates that farmers can take advantage of the clear weather to plant crops or perform maintenance such as watering and fertilizing. Meanwhile, fishermen can take advantage of the calm weather to go fishing because sea conditions are generally safer. However, if cumulonimbus clouds appear in the sky, it signals that a storm or heavy rain is coming. Farmers should immediately protect their crops from heavy rain that could damage the harvest. For example, preparing good drainage is important to prevent waterlogging. Fishermen should postpone their voyage as the storm can be very dangerous at sea. They need to check their equipment and ensure their boat is safe. Meanwhile, in autumn and winter, clouds like stratus and nimbostratus will appear more frequently. The appearance of these clouds indicates overcast weather and can be accompanied by drizzle or light rain. Farmers can prepare protection for their crops from excess moisture, which can cause plant diseases. Meanwhile, fishermen can still go out to sea but need to be cautious as visibility may decrease and navigation equipment should be checked. If nimbostratus clouds appear, it means continuous rain or snow will occur. Farmers need to ensure their drainage systems are functioning well to prevent waterlogging that can damage crops. They also need to monitor crops that are ready for harvest to avoid damage from moisture. Fishermen need to postpone their sea activities because bad weather conditions can increase the risk of accidents. However, there are some clouds that can appear almost year-round, such as cirrus and altostratus. The appearance of cirrus indicates clear weather, but it can be a sign of bad weather coming in a few days. Therefore, farmers can take advantage of the clear weather period for activities in the field. However, they should start preparing preventive measures if signs of bad weather become more apparent. Fishermen can also safely go out to sea in these clear conditions but should keep monitoring the weather forecast to anticipate changes. Meanwhile, the appearance of altostratus indicates changing weather and possible light rain. Farmers should be ready to face changing weather and ensure their crops are protected from potential light rain. Fishermen also need to be cautious when going out to sea due to the possibility of rain and reduced visibility. Temperature, humidity, air pressure, wind, these are the 4 factors that greatly affect cloud formation and their impact on the surrounding weather. Well, I think that's enough for today. Let's continue our stargazing today, said Grandpa. Aster and Cosmo nodded and the happy family slept together under the canopy of the night sky while witnessing the distant Perseid stars that dazzled. So concludes today's broadcast of the stellar twin Voyagers. Fun, isn't it? Do you also want to explore outer space or admire the wonders far above? Stay with us on this program, and we'll meet again in the next episode. In short, I'm Nova A239, very happy to share stories with you today. Until next time, let's continue to